Hello and welcome to today's special video. Today we are, of course, joined by Juan.
What's good, y'all?
And today we got something pretty cool for you guys. Today we're going over each of us having a list of top 5 people we'd like to have as guests in the race playlist. So, of course, we've discussed the race playlist as like a having guests for a while type thing. You know, people that'd be interesting to have just show up in a one-off type thing. As, of course, this is kind of like the race playlist is almost like our podcast where we discuss random things. So it'd be cool to have guests in it. So we've each compiled a list of 5 people. We're going to go alternating back and forth through our list. And we'll go over those people for you. So why don't we have Wan start us off with his first person?
Alright, so in my race playlist dream team, I built the team based on what each of the person that I picked would be doing. So I have 5 different roles to correspond with the 5 different people that I picked. And so I feel like it's only right. The opener, who I'm going to have for my race playlist pick, is going to be Bruce Banner.
Is that it?
Yeah, we're alternating, right?
You don't have like a reason why?
Oh, because that dude's the fucking best at opening anything. I mean, you watch wrestling, you watch boxing, you watch MMA. He's there doing the intro for it.
And
Even comedy specials.
And this is the dude you want for like a whole episode.
Well, no, he'd be the opener. He'd be there, but he'd be opening.
I don't know if you get the concept of this, my guy.
I mean, he'll be there for the dream team after he opens, but like, that's his main role is to open the show. But he'll be there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because in my mind, this is like 5 people that we're going to have, like, each person on a different episode. Kind of like a...
Oh, I thought oh, okay. I thought we were doing like all one episode.
No. This is like... It's like a podcast. Like, each person has an episode.
Okay, well, we probably should have went over like the
I
format
mean,
of
I
it
did
before
state
this,
that
but
to you. I did say that.
the other day?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that would be my opener.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna get the easy one out the way. The one that kind of inspired this video series idea, of course. The other day I was saying we should have Dr. Phil in the Race Plus. Of course, we mentioned Dr. Phil many times. Dude's an icon, absolute legend, and you know, just having Dr. Phil show up, that dude, you know, sometimes will tell a dumb whore to open a door. Like, you never know what this dude's going to say, but he's always going to give you some top-notch life advice. And I think in the race plus, he may send someone to the ranch.
Hope I get sent to the ranch in a race playlist. Episode number 170 coming soon. Juan gets ranched.
Featuring Dr. Phil.
Now, are you sure you had said that was the...
I'm 100% sure, my guy.
Because I remember saying Dr. Phil and Joe Rogan would be on the same...
I laughed because it was
playlist.
funny, but I said they're going to be on separate episodes.
Oh, okay.
Because that shit would be hilarious with them together. But
that being said, my next draft pick would be Joe Rogan, of course. Dude's always got something interesting to say. He's got a very dominating personality. Feel like he'd fill the void when nobody's talking in the race playlist and there's intense racing going on.
Man would always have something to say.
And when there's not intense racing going on, he'll always, you know, have a topic to chime in or an opinion to chime in whatever the topic is. So, I mean, he loves... I watch a lot of the Joe Rogan experience, and he loves people who are really good at something. Like, people who have a passion for something. We both have we both really like vehicles and racing. You're very, very fucking good at racing, and I think he'd enjoy that. I think he'd enjoy the back and forth battles that we have, the wild ass shorts that are in person on the live stream in the video. I think he'd like that. So Joe Rogan's my next pick.
So, for my second pick, speaking of dominating a racing, it's got to be Max Verstappen. I mean, obviously, two-time F1 champion, winner of the 6th most races in Formula One history. I mean, dude's wild at video games as well. We should mention that. Dude's one of the, always killing on iRacing. So I'm sure GTA would be something that he would pull up and absolutely dominate. So there might be an episode I won't win. I mean, obviously a gamer. He got a sponsorship with EA Sports the other day as well. So, he's all into the gaming and obviously into racing. That's like what he does all the time, even when he's not doing F1. So I think it'd just be interesting because, I'm all about that. So it'd be a cool vibe for sure.
Right. So I did have I had my list set up in this way where I had a bunch of different roles for everybody. Joe Rogan was the host. But I'm going to give my
role. That's crazy.
I want to make another list real quick here, but I'm going to give my first initial person that I had on here when I had done the roles. And obviously, for doing a race playlist, for doing a video, I would like to have high production value. Make sure that shit can go as good as it can go. And that includes having good hair stylist and makeup artist. So I would bring in Dylan Mulvaney.
Who?
Dylan Mulvaney, the trans woman that had talked to Biden at the White House earlier last year.
Bro, what?
But since it's not the roles and since it's 5 people in different episodes, I would like to see Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Now, I was debating between Seth Rogen and Snoop Dogg because both of them obviously smoke weed, hobby I like to engage in very frequently. And I figure with Seth Rogen, he has a company. He has a huge weed business. He's been in multiple movies. And honestly, it was a very hard pick. The only reason I wanted Seth Rogen is because I feel like I know a little bit more about Snoop Dogg. And I just want to break down and have a serious conversation with Seth and see what I can learn about him, Seems like a chill dude. So that's my third pick.
I got you. Okay, I like it. My next pick. How many picks did we do? This is my third pick.
We
right?
did 3.
Yeah.
It should be your, yeah.
My third pick. Somebody we mentioned the Race Plus about a year ago. I'm gonna go with Eileen Gu. Interesting vibe. Just the different things that she does. Obviously skiing, which I know nothing about. And then she also does a whole fashion vibe thing, which I am a fashion icon as well. So I think we could have a good vibe there. And then also on top of that, she does college full time. So how she does all of that,
damn,
I have no idea. But it's very
wild.
impressive. So I think that'd just be an interesting vibe to have that, discussion of how the hell do you do all that.
Bro, it'd be so cool to get guests on the playlist just to talk to them, dude.
So that's my pick because she's just got that interesting vibe doing so many things that you could just do one of those 3 things on its own and it's already insane enough. So to do all 3, wild.
Going into my fourth pick. Um, Actually, my fourth and fifth pick are both very well-regarded men. My fourth pick, I would have to go with somebody who's already been mentioned, Dr. Phil. However, I would also bring his crew with him, obviously, because his crew pulls up, does the work. Dr. Phil has ran with the same crew that they've had since he started his show back, what was it, 21 years ago?
Yes.
And unfortunately, this year is going to be the last year that he's doing his show.
Damn, feels bad.
So shouts out to Dr. Phil. Would be great to have you on the Race Playlist podcast someday. But until that day happens, both Dr. Phil and his crew are coming along because I think we could talk about a lot, to say the least.
Yeah. Oh man, you're not wrong. All right, my fifth pick or fourth pick here. I'm gonna go with Jeremy Clarkson.
Ooh,
Obviously,
solid pick.
that dude being super into cars, so obviously that'd be a swag conversation. But being the main person on my favorite show, one of the people that revived Top Gear from its original run to have its run 2002 when they relaunched it to make that one of the most watched shows, and then obviously to go and do the Grand Tour and have that be successful on Amazon, and then two other shows as well. So just one of the main people in that, and obviously the funniest dude there. So I think that he would be a really awesome pick to have in the race bus. And yeah, that's my choice.
I would love to be in that playlist as well. I've not watched nearly as many Top Gear episodes as you, but I love watching Jeremy and in Top Gear in the episodes back in the day, and even in some of the new things he's been in, like was it the Grand Tour?
Yeah.
So, and the Scum Class moment, that was iconic.
Of course, we use that all the time in our racing. So yeah.
Jeremy's the GOAT. I'd love to talk to him. It'd be really awesome getting some British energy up in here.
Yeah.
Shouts out to our fans across the pond.
Real quick on your saying about not watching much Top Gear. For me, I've watched so many of the episodes. I've watched so many times that I just know what's gonna happen. Like, it's
like my mom with Roseanne.
It's the only
She's
show.
She's out here reciting the whole fucking show.
100%, dude. There's like so many of the episodes. I'm like, yep, I know what's happening. So, yeah, into it.
I mean, yeah, I remember watching clips on YouTube of just random episodes, and you knew exactly which episode, exactly like when in the episode. You were like, oh yeah, that one, I remember that. Like, and then you went on and described like the next part in it, and I'm like, oh, it was just a clip, dude. I didn't see like the whole thing. Like,
you're like, oh, it's like that. Okay.
Dude's explaining something that I haven't even watched in the video yet. I paused the video and started talking about something, texted him, and he's already explaining the ending. Nah, I mean, that's how you got all your car knowledge. You're able to do that with vehicles too. You can point out different kinds of cars and just name them off the top of your head. It's a very interesting ability.
That was an interesting pick, because actually that was the fifth one that I went with. There were so many people that I'm like, damn, I want to include this person or include that person. But I went with him because I had already, picked somebody from racing. Picking Max earlier. I was like, I could go with two different race car drivers. But yeah, that was where I settled. So,
who else would you have picked?
for racing, I would have went with Kevin Harvick for sure. That was my other pick.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was between those two. But I was like, I already got Max, so I mean, do I go with both? But I mean, I can go over a whole list of honorable mentions as well, which we can probably get to in our race playlist later in the week when that episode launches.
Yes.
So who you got for your fifth one?
For my fifth pick, speaking about having good conversations with Dr. Phil, we could also I'm going to bring Chris Hansen in.
Yes, the legend himself, Chris Hansen. Let's go.
The GOAT.
Catching the Predators, sending them to jail. Let's fucking go.
This man is truly a hero. I've probably watched I have watched every single episode of Dateline, including like the deleted ones.
Yes,
more than once, or more than twice actually. Like I've been watched that like multiple times a year. But like, and there's other YouTubers like Dads Against Predators, DAP, Skeeter Gene. I think it's Chicago area Predators or Colorado something Predators. I apologize, but want to shout them out too for also doing Predator catches on YouTube. They get their stuff taken down because apparently YouTube doesn't like that unless it's a documentary type video, and even then it's very dicey. But shouts out to all them. But Chris Hansen, I would love to bring in, love to have conversations with, because I mean this man catches bad guys when the police either don't want to or don't have the resources to. So he's worked with multiple police entities across multiple states to catch child predators, and has been doing it for multiple years. And I think he now does something similar, and he's trying to do like a YouTube documentary series. I heard.
Yeah.
I have to look more into that.
Yeah.
But he's done a bunch of different things in conjunction with the police and catching child predators and everything like that. So it'd be very nice to have Chris Hansen on the podcast and talk to him for a while.
100% agree. So we go to my last pick, and I've gone with a duo for this pick, and that's gonna be Brooks and Dunn. So, I mean, I had to get a music pick in there, and again, there was a few different options for that. But I mean, I believe they were I think they were my second most listened to artist on Apple Music last year. I mean, they had some of the biggest country music songs in the 90s and early 2000s. Such a good sound of those songs, such honestly iconic songs. So I enjoy listening to them. I do listen to it quite frequently. So just have an interesting thing there to have pretty high on my list of favorite country music artists. Honestly, probably the top. I mean, I got 2 of their CDs here on the shelf where I'm recording, so definitely enjoy their music. And yeah, so it'd be cool to have them on there, talk about some music and vibe like that.
Nice.
So
my last pick actually surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that was to catch you up.
I was gonna do a musician pick, but I mean, there was Snoop Dogg. That wasn't the musician pick that I was thinking of. I'm not going to get into it now because we're going to talk about that in the race playlist you guys will see next week. But
in like 2 days, my guy, chill next week.
A couple days, yeah.
I think it's actually the day after. But yeah, I think overall we had some awesome lists. Definitely some good picks in there. I had to throw you off with that last one. the way I introduced it, because I know you said you thought I was gonna pick Rhett and Link, so I was like, I'm gonna pick a duo. Try to throw you off with that. But yeah, I think overall we got some good picks, and I'm ready to discuss this more in the race playlist. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the race playlist tomorrow.